The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing. This is the habit-based lifestyle where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships, or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
What's up, guys? Jesse, Habit-Based Lifestyle, and I want to welcome you to today's show. Today, we're going to be talking specifically about one-on-one coaching versus group coaching. And I hear a lot of people we talk to and interview inside of our program many times before they come in. A lot of the coaches have kind of a one-on-one model. Very few have a scalable group model. And a lot of times the way that we really help our clients is we help them understand what's a better model for what they want to get. So what is the best delivery method when it comes to coaching or consulting? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So who is this for? This is for the coach or the consultant or someone who may want to start a coaching or consulting business. And it's really to break down what is the best style of coaching for you and how you specifically pick that. So number one, we're going to weigh in on the pros and cons, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of a framework to help you better understand what this looks like. If you guys are tuning in live and you're watching this, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. We'd love to have you interact and just see, how we can help you guys inside of our program, Habit-Based Lifestyle, and how you can make the best decision for you and your business. Because at the end of the day, it is not a one size fits all. It is something that you're going to have to work on and work through. And this is just one of the ways that we've really found to be really beneficial. And a lot of the clients we work with inside of Habit-Based Lifestyle, they kind of walk in and they have an idea of what they want to make as far as, financially. But when it comes down to it, we start looking at their business model. We start looking at their coaching or consulting model. And I want you guys to also consider, maybe you're someone who serves people one-to-one. This is going to be good for you too, because you can learn some different ways to possibly do things. So number one is, let's weigh in on the cons of one-on-one, small group, large group. So number one is going to obviously be one-on-one. Now, the con of having a one-on-one is it's not scalable. It's not a scalable way to do business. It can feel a lot of times like expensive babysitting. It can be boring and feel like the client moves much slower in the process of this. Now, that means that a lot of times, when you're doing a one-on-one style of coaching, the client is leaving it up to you to move the conversation along. It's one of those things where, like I said, it can feel like babysitting, especially after a while. It can feel like you're having a lot of the same conversations over and over. And so the client doesn't really see other people around them moving. It does, and it seems to go a little bit slower in the process. So one-on-one obviously kind of has a cap on what you can make financially per time, per hour, however you charge. But there tends to be kind of this idea that we're trading in time for money. When you have an idea of like, hey, I want to make $20,000 a month, but all you're doing is one-on-one coaching, that it may not actually be able to happen by the way that you're doing this. Now, also, maybe you're doing some nutrition coaching, you're doing some things like that. And you're like, well, I have to do this one-on-one because it's a customized program, I promise. But here's what I'll challenge you with is every client that you go through with this is it may be a customized to their specific thing, but the parameters and the framework that you use is not customized. It's the same with every client. It's not different. And so I'm going to challenge you a little bit on that. Now let's get into small group. The cons of a small group is a lot of times they must start at the same time. So that means that only every quarter, only every month, or every so many weeks, you have to start a new group. It can be obviously a little bit more scalable. Obviously, it's more scalable than one-to-many. But when you start a lot of people at the same time and everyone's getting started, it's a lot of heavy lifting on the front end. Obviously, you have an opportunity to make more money doing this and serve more people. Again, it can feel very intimate. It can feel like we're all starting at the same place. So the big lifting is always in the beginning of that. But again, it's better than one-on-one where we're talking about scale and things like that. Now we have one-to-many, which, can really have no cap on people. Sometimes you can lose track of clients. It can feel not so personable. And some clients I've found don't do very well in big groups because they don't tend to put themselves out there. So a lot of times it's dictated by how a client participates versus, some of the other ones. It's a little harder for a client to hide. It's a little harder for a client to get lost. The other thing with one-to-many, the con in this is that people can start. So you have to have a really good infrastructure of how you do things. And so it has to be systemized. And for some people, when they go to scale and they're trying to do one-to-many, they don't have the infrastructure to do it. So things kind of start crumbling down. The quality of the coaching goes down. And sometimes, if you don't know how to coach a group of people, the coaching can feel a lot less like it's individualized. A lot of times it could just be someone up there teaching. So you really have to be skilled as a coach. And that's one of the cons of that. Now let's get into the pros of these. So one-on-one, it feels very customizable. It feels very personable. It feels like you have a personal relationship with the client. It feels like the client can be taken care of. They're seen, they're heard, which a lot of times is what clients really want. The other pro of one-on-one, if you're brand new, I think this is a great model to just get your skills down, to make sure that clients are getting results and to kind of go above and beyond so that you don't miss anything. The other thing is it's very easy to track a one-on-one client versus, having to worry about 20, 30 clients at a time. Now, small group, it feels a lot of times, especially when you're starting together, it feels like you're all in it together. It feels like you're starting in the same place. There's less comparison. So sometimes you get into a program and maybe, someone's been in for months or someone's been in for just starting and another person maybe has been in for a year. It's like, hey, why am I not where they are? But what I like about this is you get it's like a team approach in the sense of we're all in this together. We're all trying to better ourselves. It's still intimate and it feels very customizable at that time. The other thing is in that small group, there's interaction, right? And so it kind of gets rid of the babysitting and feels a lot more like we're interacting as a group. We're all learning from each other, which is very important. And it kind of takes some of that pressure off the coach. So if you're new, these are some of the things that you want to weigh in. And then we got one-to-many. Now, one-to-many is nice because I like this because you can sign people up at any time. You don't have to wait quarters. You don't have to wait months to sign up a new group. It's much more scalable. I love the group dynamics. I love that it's a much more competitive atmosphere. So I love the fact that someone can say, hey, I see this person has been in your program for a year. I see this person that's been in for 6 months, 3 months, and I can see the results that I can potentially get in the program. And so it's kind of future pacing new people coming in. Here's the thing that I know though. Sometimes I talked about this. If you don't have good infrastructure, the one-to-many people will get lost. But if you have good infrastructure, it allows people the opportunity to hold each other accountable, to create a success throughout the group. And the group is pushing everybody up instead of just the coach feeling like they got to push everybody up. So what is the best way to do this with all of what I just said? And I think you got to look at it as your own personal experience. Like, what do you want your coaching to look like? If you're brand new, I'm going to say stick to more of a one-on-one small group model until you really have your systems dialed in, until you really have your coaching model dialed in. Because if you go to a one-to-many or large group too quick, too soon, you're going to find out that you don't have the systems, you don't have the infrastructure in your business to be able to scale that and withstand that. Now, on the other side of that, if you've coached and you have had some one-on-one clients, you've gotten some great results, you feel like you have a pretty solid program, then I would obviously say one-to-many with a little bit of either small group or one-on-one with that. Now, what that means is that we have a one-to-many, we're going to coach people in a big group, and then we're going to offer some one-on-one type support. Now, why do I think that? Because I still think that people will have a tendency to feel like they're going to hide. There's still clients that will show up and be like, man, I haven't been doing this. And it's like, they'll be much more willing to get some one-on-one support. But I feel like if you can cover both, you're really starting to be able to scale your business. And that allows you to really build the infrastructure up. And so we use kind of a combination of one-on-one, the combination of small group in terms of, having several calls a week. That allows more and more access to get on calls. And then we have kind of the one-to-many. So we have all three models we run. But we believe that we're meeting clients at every single level. So whatever coaching they like best, they have the ability to kind of tap into that. And so that's what I believe is one of the best delivery methods, delivery models. Right now, this works really well for us. But what I will tell you is this, the one-to-many or larger group is a lot more scalable, but you have to have the skills as a coach to deliver. You got to have the infrastructure to be able to handle the volume of clients. And then you have to have a team under you to make sure people aren't falling through the cracks. And so I love this style of coaching. I love to be able to really customize coaching. And really where I learned most of my coaching or a huge part of it was in the fitness industry where, I started out as a one-on-one coach. And then I got more into small group coaching. I started getting into one-to-many. And so if you're a trainer, if you're a coach, you're a nutrition person, or maybe you're even kind of a chiropractor or functional medicine person who we do work a lot with, chiropractor might say, well, how do I adjust, a large group of people? What I would say is this, I would offer some type of call once a month to give people access to you, to give people access to your knowledge so that people feel like they have a personal relationship with you. So it could be coming up with some type of Q&A call you do once a month in your practice so that clients feel like they have a personal connection to you. Because I know a lot of times, some people may only spend 3, 5, 10, 15 minutes with you. This allows them to jump on a call and have a personal connection with you. Those are some things that we recommend with some of the doctors and people we work with. But I really believe that Q&A is one of the most powerful things that we can do as a coach because it allows people to come on and work through problems. And at the end of the day, we want to help people with the problems they have. We want to give them and help them identify better solutions to the problems they have. And sometimes they just want to be heard. They want to be seen. And they need some love, and an hour a day or an hour once a month or once every couple of weeks really allows them to be able to feel like they have that personal connection. So these are just some thoughts, in weighing in, like, how do I know when it's time to go from one-to-one to small group? I will say this, when you feel like you have a good system, when you feel like you have predictable results with your clients, then you can bump into the small group. How do you know when it's time to go into the large? Is when you have the infrastructure, you have the coaching, and you have the systems to be able to scale. It's a great time to do that. Now, if you don't have those things, obviously what we do inside of habit-based lifestyle is we show coaches, consultants, business professionals how to do this, because I really believe that now is a great opportunity for you to jump into this game and really take your business, take your lifestyle to the next level. And if you're an expert at something, and you can help other people become better experts, I mean, now is a great opportunity to do that. So if you guys want to find out more about that, obviously drop in HBL in the comments. We'd love to reach out to you and see if what we're doing could potentially help you. If you're listening to the podcast, you can always email me, jesse@habitbasedlifestyle.com, and we can have a one-on-one conversation and see if what we are doing could potentially help you out, or just direct you into the area that would be the best benefit for you. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you have a great Thursday.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse.